I am a very stylish girl.
Okay, welcome to part 2. Thanks for sitting through another part of me complaining about stuff. Another thing I don't like, and this is probably the one that I'm gonna get a lot of negative feedback about, is kids. Don't get me wrong, there's some kids out there that are awesome, but a lot of the time, and I have to say it nowadays, I'm seeing some spoiled little kids who are running around with like iPod 4s and they're like 4 years old, and it's like, you do not need that phone. Why do you need that phone? You should not be anywhere outside without your parents. You do not need that phone. But yeah, I see all these kids and they're running around, and it's like these parents have no parenting that have been done with these children. I mean, I see kids running around doing crazy, insane, dangerous things and just being rude and destructive and loud, you know, and it's not necessary, and I think that people need to do something about it. When you go to a store and you see this parent who has let their kid just run around free, and you're looking at this kid and you're like, where's this person's mom? I could just take this kid and run out the store if I was a weirdo, and I'm not, thank God, and I also don't want them. But, yeah, like, where are these parents? Why are they being parents and being responsible for these children? Why are they letting them just run around like crazy, you know, just because they can get away with it? That's not a good reason, you know? And the other thing is, I don't like it when I go to a restaurant or a movie or whatever, and people have brought these children, and, you know, actually recently I went to go see Machete, and there was, no joke, a maybe 6-year-old girl in the audience. That is not an appropriate movie for, I'm sorry, maybe I'm old, that's not an appropriate movie for a 6-year-old. She should not have been in that theater. There was sex and blood everywhere in that movie. You guys should not have brought your 6-year-old to this film. But I digress. I hate when I go to a restaurant or something and there's somebody there with like a 1-year-old or a 8-year-old or whatever, and the kid is just screaming at the top of their lungs, and the parents are just letting them do it. And I understand there's only so much maybe that you can do to keep your kid quiet, but talking personally as a person who has purposefully chosen not to have children and you know, has eliminated that from my life because of the reasons that I don't want to hear that kid screaming all day long. I don't want to go to dinner and hear a kid screaming all day long. It's unfair for you to force me to listen to your child, you know? So I think honestly that just like restaurants used to have smoking and non-smoking sections, I think restaurants should have like children and not children sections, because honestly, speaking as somebody who has chosen not to have kids, I don't want to have to endure yours. I really don't. So either become a responsible parent and learn how to like control your child, or don't bring them out. I'm sorry. Or have a petition to make the government like make children and non-children section in restaurants, because I'm sorry, I should not be forced to have my meal disrupted. Like maybe I'll be out on a date or an anniversary or whatever, and I have to listen to your kid screaming. It sucks, you know, and I shouldn't have to deal with that. I'm sorry, but it's unfair. And you're just the way that if there's smokers nearby, you don't want your lungs invaded. I don't want my ears invaded. So you're destroying my right to a peaceful dinner, and I don't think it's proper. I just don't. I talked about movies in that one, so let's talk about movies some more. I don't like people who don't sit through the credits, and I know that's most of you. Speaking as a costume designer and somebody who's worked on films, I can honestly tell you, it does insult me when people only associate the actors with the film. There are so many people who work on the movie. There's people who work in the lighting. There's the people who work on the cameras. There's the people who work in editing. There's the people who did the casting. There's the people who do the costumes. There's the people who do the makeup and the hair. There are tons and tons of people behind the scenes, and every single one of them was integral to making that film. And honestly, it's like a deck of cards. You take one away, the whole thing just crumbles. So please, please, please stop only caring about the actors, because they are such a minute part of the film. You take anyone else away who worked on it and you don't get that film. So please, please, please respect the other people who worked on it. Sit through the credits, because in all honesty, that's the only recognition that they get. And one day my name is going to be in those credits, and I don't want you people missing it. So stay for the credits and be appreciative and respectful to the other people who worked on the film, not just the big name celebrities, because there's more to a movie than just them. Okay, here's another one. Blast from the past, Otaku Jen. And don't worry, Jen, I'm not complaining about you specifically. I'm complaining about the people who still, a year later, are asking me questions about what happened to Jen. You need to stop it. I put out a video specifically answering what happened to her and to stop bugging me about it, and you guys still are, and it's very sweet, and it has cut down to almost like one person a month, which is awesome, but it's still those one person a month, and it's still annoying. So actually I have to say, it's been a year pretty much since she's gone off the air, so if you still are messaging me and you're like, oh man, I used to be such a big fan of Otaku Jen and now she's gone, what the heck happened? Honey, it's been a year since she's gone off the air. If you're just figuring out now that she's not on anymore, you probably weren't that big a fan. Okay? So stop bugging me about it. Stop it right now.
I am a very stylish girl.